third and final week of the Synod corresponds to the third part of the working document, and this has to do with all the practical responses. However, the reports from the second week are the ones that are being published now. So what do we know about those reports, Sebastian?
Yeah, we read those this week, and there's lots of great stuff in there. There comes a time in every synod, and I've been there, so I've seen this before, where all the synod delegates start saying things like, we need more Jesus, we need more scripture, we need more sacraments. And that's the period that we're in right now. So when you read these small language group reports, these are the kinds of things that you're seeing. You're seeing a call for much more scripture references, like finding stories in scripture that kind of correspond to the experience of young people today. Even so much as saying, like, what was Jesus' experience as a young person? He was from an underprivileged family. Absolutely. He was totally misunderstood by a lot of his contemporaries. I mean, there's some resemblance there.
Out. Now, did we also heard that the final document is actually already being written? What do we know about that? Is that normal?
This is an interesting conversation because, of course, like anything that's a little bit private, like a synod, there's all these conspiracy theories on the outside about manipulation. What's happening? Is the Pope only appointing people who think the same way that he does to write the final report? So there's an interesting conversation about that. But what was announced this week is that what will happen is the final report will be written in paragraph form as it's been done in the past and be voted on paragraph by all of the synod delegates who have a vote. Which is similar to what's happened in the past.
But another concern is as to who gets to vote, because there's all these subtopics, and one of them has to do with women and how women are participating in the synod, and the question as to whether women should be allowed to vote with the bishops. What do we know about that?
Well, this comes up because there are actually non-ordained voters in the synod. There are a couple of brothers, so religious brothers, who were appointed by the Union of Superiors General, which is the umbrella network of all the male religious congregations around the world. Now, there are also women religious at the synod, and so they're not ordained, so how come they can't vote? I mean, they're still authority figures, so to speak, and they still have obviously a lot to say. So this is a conversation that actually happened at a previous synod because a similar situation happened. And now you have all the religious superiors, both on the women's side and on the men's side, talking about this behind, in the background now, trying to say, okay, this does make sense. Why can't this happen? So we have no idea what's going to happen.
But it's not an official discussion?
We're getting there. We're getting there. I mean,
that's good.
Official meaning. I mean, there are many significant people in the church talking about it now. So my takeaway is I wouldn't be surprised if we do see women religious voting, for example, in the next synod, and that would be going back to previous tradition in the sense that they have had as abbesses and heads of convents and stuff a lot of authority throughout the history of the church. So it makes perfect sense for a lot of people.